Well, folks, how are we? Hi, Sam. Can everyone hear me? You got a thumbs? Excellent, thanks, Jane. Fastest fingers. Oh, got it. Okay. Mr. Williams, do you want to say hello there? Oh, we have to wait for it to put it on the headphones. Say hello there, Mr. Williams. We'll see if we can hear you.
How are we?
I can hear him, so that's a good sign. Yeah, Tarnesh has got him as well. So, folks, welcome to a brand new week. Short week, so we won't be training on Wednesday this week. With it being St. Patrick's Day, and given that we all live in Ireland, we should probably celebrate and recognise the day as I don't know about a Saint's Day anymore, but it's definitely the national day of being Irish, and it's nice that the rest of the world has a little bit of a nod towards us on that day. So, first thing I want to say with this group is for Sam, I suppose in particular, and Etna, if you want to start sending in videos, now's a very, very good time. Now, we still have 4 weeks from now to start getting the videos in. But start with what's there, in particular maybe the physical section of the grading, the coaching exercise, and some of the basic hand movements and the older patterns, things like that. The things that are already posted, maybe start with those, and we will progress and eventually get all the kicking in, but it might be a week or so before we even get close to doing it, because I'm still working on the last few techniques for the green belts and the blue tags and so on. It's just getting through it bit by bit, because recording the kicking and getting a decent sequence of it that looks okay on video is actually harder than you might think, especially when you're having to do everything on your own and you can't see it until you stop, watch the video back and go, no, that's not quite right, and try it again. So we will do that. For the black tags and black belts in particular, I just want to say as well today, because if anybody is interested in competing with the national team in this year or next year, and okay, let's put all the cards on the table. Nobody knows if there's going to be competition before the end of this year. It's in the calendar for La Nucia in Spain, lovely area. Got married there. Asked Jamie about the spot. It's very, very nice. It's a wonderful spot to go for a tournament. The weather will be reasonable in November. But that, if it happens, great. If we can go, even better. But we're not sure, of course, just yet with the pace of change at the moment. But there's also Euros in April next year in another beautiful spot. I can't remember the exact name of the city, but it's in Croatia. It's Croatia near the Adriatic.
Porek, is it? The Porek?
Porek, that's the one, yeah. So it's again an absolute beauty of a spot. So some great venues for the next 2 European Championships. So if you're interested in 2 things, either being on the squad that's travelling to those championships and having a lash at it, or training with the squad in order to enhance your own training and prepare for future competitions, even if it's not at the European Championship level, but maybe travelling abroad to the likes of the Warrior Open, the Open Dutch, the Italian Open, various championships that we used to travel to when people could fly places, and hopefully we'll travel to again. If you're looking to up your game so you can compete more confidently at those events, or even at our events at home, it does massive things for you to go to the national team sessions and join in. And the reason is very, very simple. When you turn up to an event and you see all the people with the Irish flags on, I don't have an Irish flag on this one. How do I have an Irish? In case you don't know why, like myself and Mr. Williams, we don't pay for our dough box. They all come with the national team. So I'm not used to having one that doesn't have a flag on it. But anyway, if you're seeing all these people who have flags on their dough box, or you're seeing these people who you don't know, they seem confident and all the rest of it, it can be quite mentally challenging to get in the ring and do your very best. But if you know them, like you know each other, like Saul's not going to get nervous going into the ring to spar Tarnesh or vice versa, right? It's the same. You're familiar. You can't have the same nerve. All you're worried about is whether you win or lose. You're not worried about getting hurt or what people will think, or that's all out the window. So that's why we'd have people go along, meet all the people who want to be at the top of the game at the squads, be familiar with them, start thinking of them as just another person who's training and trying to win, and it's much more approachable to get in the ring and compete with them. Okay, so that is a thing I'd highly recommend. So it's red belts and higher for the national team squads. So if you're successful in the grading over the next couple of weeks or months, Sam, that also would concern you. So we'd like to offer it on the ITA's social media and website. It's on our Instagram and Facebook pages, just the links to where you go. There's an Eventbrite webinar on Saturday. That's just to explain to people what's involved. No commitment to that. You can just jump on. Tickets free. Just jump on. Listen to what the coaches and managers have to say, and if it sounds like something you're into, then you can go further and give an expression of interest. Okay, so that's us for now. No other major news. Let's get started. Tonight, 7 Kyungin. Go on. Okay, really simple. You don't have too much space there, so we're going to start with just a little bit of bouncing, and I'm going to bring in some coordination exercises as we go. So just bouncing on the toes, staying kind of light. Okay, first thing I want you to do is roll the right wrist to the right, so whatever way you figure out the right is, but the left wrist is going to, or the wrist is going to go in the opposite direction. So we're just going like this as we go, and both of them change direction. This is super easy, by the way, don't worry. And both in the same direction. Just trying to work on the coordination a bit as we get one other direction. Both of them though going in the same direction. Okay, stay with just the wrist and go to the elbow on the other side. And now, change. So try to get that other hand to stop doing the whole elbow movement. Easy. And change. One is just doing the wrist, and don't stick it to your body, that's not the same thing. Okay, and change. Okay, so we're just rolling the shoulders forward, so you can stop bouncing for a second. Roll the shoulders forward. Just pick them up and drop them. You want to bring the whole body into the movement. Other way. Stop. And the other way. Okay, so swinging both arms, forwards and backwards, and keep the right arm going backwards as the left arm goes forwards. Let the body move with it. Change. So the left is going backwards as the right goes forwards. And change, 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 change. Okay, bending both knees and turning 1, 2, and opposite direction 3, 4. Now you can pivot on balls of the feet. And be a little bit more explosive as you go. A little bit more. And a bit more. And once more. And feet about double shoulder width. We're going right hand to the left foot. Press down with the palm. Left hand to the right foot. Press down with the palm. So we're just going 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Just free up the other arm and let it turn. Good. Pressing down. Palm onto the foot. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. From there, turn the toes out slightly. We're going to press out and wiggle right and left. From there, press the knuckles to the floor and straighten the legs. Push back into the hamstrings, and then we push the knees out and we drop. Knuckles to the floor, straighten the legs. Push back into the hamstrings, and we drop. This time push up onto the toes, but still press out. Press the hands to the floor, palms down, straighten the legs, and push back into the stretch. Feet a little wider, elbows down. So only go as wide as you need to get your elbows on the ground. Then the right leg, left leg, right leg, and left leg. Okay, so we want to keep both knees bent, straighten up the body, and hold. So just want you nice and tall, both knees slightly bent, strong wide stance. Holding for 10, 8, 7, 6. Active here. 4, 3, 2. Straighten your legs. Hands to the floor. Widen a little bit. Walk forwards, walk back. Just feeling a little bit of a stretch inside the hips now. And hold a minute. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And slowly bring those feet together. That's it. We want to keep the knuckles on the ground. Just the knuckles. Don't have to press the palms down right now. But the knuckles stay on the ground. And then keep on. We bring the feet the whole way together. Bend the knees. Straighten on up. Shake the legs. Haha. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with just a few hand techniques just to get us kind of loose, get the blood flowing again, and then we're going to jump into quite a bit of kicking. So first few hand techniques are going to be focused on Jungun and the ones in around there. So a bit of coordination in the focus as well. So we're going to start palm up or block, palms down, circling up, finishing at solar plexus height. And what I want you to do is I want you to feel how smooth this can get to let you arrive with some impact, some speed. 1 and just 12 in your own time. Let's go. I've about 6 I want to look at. Good. Smooth. Smooth. Yeah. Oh, that's it, Harnish. Separated from the body, maybe. You can get a little space from the body to the side and up. The elbow never connects, because once the elbow touches the ribs, your hand starts to move very slow, because now it's only the elbow down. And we want to have some of the elbow bent left.
The thumb doesn't pull across, so make sure the hand is up, so the thumb doesn't pull across. Open. Yeah, open. Doesn't have to pull across, because you're using the palm.
Taking the combination from the pattern, knife hand guiding block into Wipalkap Teriki. I want to do that 12 times, but what I'm looking for is that relax up, drop into an L stance, nice and strong, using the turn of the hip to arrive at the technique. Full facing, and drive into the elbow. So I want to see the foot transition. We're pulling that front foot back and around and drive forwards. And I want you to use that drive of the foot to create some extra speed for the hands. So let's go 6 right, 6 left. Go for it. 1, reach, snap. Good. Accelerate the foot forward. Push that foot away from you. So here. That. Push them. Okay. There you go. Really look to accelerate those hands into it. Okay. Taking one from Tege, I want the X-twist downward block. Sorry, X-twist pressing block into twin vertical punch. Kyuchichimuk Nulamaki, Sangsewa Shirugi, and Yansa Tanja. So we're going in that continuous motion. So here. 1 and 2. And again, the focus is on that rotation. So the palms forward, snap. Palms back, snap. Let's go. Sija. Go on. Nice. That looks smooth, Jess. Keep it up. 1 and 2. Good. Only coming from just above the shoulders for the first one. Don't go high. Good.
Yeah, try and get that more rotation, Maeve.
1.
Try and get that rotation on both of them.
That back forward. And we've got to control how far the hands rotate. So as we arrive from here,
Yeah.
we don't want to go so far. We just want to keep it there. Yeah. One, down, back, pop. There we go. All right.
Nice tarnish. Put away in the
Okay.
pressing block, Sam. So whichever leg is in the front, that hand goes on the bottom.
Yeah.
So the right. In the front,
Left leg
the
in the
right.
front, left hand down. And the feeling on this pressing block should be that I go as direct as possible from this position, just above the shoulders, down. I drive into it. I get my hands in that position quickly and press into the movement. Okay, Sanson Black Mula Mac. It's been a while since we've been saying some of these things out loud, folks. It's weird. So, palms up and back, palms down and back. And what I'd really like you to focus on is almost the worse your floor is for this, the better. Okay? The stickier it is, the more you've got like carpet or slippery tiles, whatever it is, we want to make sure that you're getting that control from the standing leg. So we're coming down and up, down. If I show you from this side, I just want to put my feet where just about see it. There's no down and forward. This is only down, up, down. I control it as much as I can. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and I'm down. 8 times only. Let's go. Down, up. And I try to get my hands and feet finishing together, of course. Remember, this
That's
is
it.
all
Try and use-
about elegance and control. By Mr. Williams.
It's right here, right, to help the timing as well, to time the hands and the feet.
Okay. And it's okay if, like, one of the things with slow motion is we don't accelerate our breath in. We don't have. It's just. And it just dies out. That's what we want to do. We just want to have it die out. And it's just making sure the foot doesn't stop before the hands. Okay, now I want to jump a couple of grades, like 5 or 6. And we're going to work on some downward blocks, okay? And downward blocks all have the exact same idea as the upward blocks. They come to solar plexus. Obviously, they're going to come in a downward fashion. And what I want you to do is coordinate that both hands are working together. So we're going to do a palm downward block, we're going to do a forearm downward block, or at least in that fashion. And we're going to do an X fist downward block. We're going to start with the X fist downward block, okay? So it works like this. Okay, so I have to finish my downward block on solar plexus height, okay? So left leg in front, left hand is down, the second hand will reinforce on the top of it, wrist to wrist. Elbow will be below the blocking tool. And we're going to block down here, solar plexus once again. So try that, just 12, just going right and left, and this isn't slow. This isn't like a pressing block or anything, or the ones we just had. This is, get to here, or it's the same way. Go for it. I'd say, Jess, we've never practiced this on its own, just as a normal movement. It's almost always been continuous. So let's just enjoy it as a normal movement. Here. 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 There we go. Yeah, solar plexus. Get a feel for it. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
So this feeling with the body that we're going to be pulling towards our center. And that's how we're going to accelerate it. It's that core contraction helps us to pull these hands together tightly and finish. That's nice, Sam. Hold on. Yes, Jess. Good, Karnesh. That's it. Finishing together. Good. Make sure it doesn't go out and across like this. We have to come a little higher. So come up to temple level and down. Okay. With the same plan, we're going to do this one sliding backwards, okay, into rear foot stance. It's the opposite of this one. So we're going to have the palm blocking downwards. So imagine you have the cycle coming towards you, just blocking it down. Solar plexus with the hand, the other hand back in the hip. But I want you to work on getting both hands working together. Okay? Again, 12. So take a couple of steps forward. 1. You come forward again. You block. C-jack. Good. So at the moment it's kind of one hand. So bring both hands. 1, 2.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I'll just throw it.
2. 1, 2. So they're working with each other in this kind of figure of 8 kind of way. And because that would be weird, we've got to relax the shoulder, relax the elbow, and let the palm do the work. 1, lock it down. Good. Enough to get the feel of it. Now, for Juche, we have a downward block using the forearm. Okay, so it's the same idea. Your palm's going to be this way, one up, one down. Okay, like you're twisting your towel again. Right, and we have 1 this way. So, in this case, we're going to use an L stance, but we are still going to slide back. And solar plexus, because it's a downward block. Elbow would be lower than the arm unless you've got weird proportions. And we're here. If you've got weird proportions, they'd never learn how to draw you in art class though. So here we go. 1, 2. Okay. And if you're in the Williams household, you definitely have the elbow lower because the weird proportions of it, your arms are longer, not shorter. So, we're good. All the better to punch you with, my dear. Here we go. Not great for benching though. You want those short monkey arms for benching. Good, go on. Get that arm over the top. And here we go. Over the top. Here we go. Well done, folks. So the feeling is there should be families of blocks. And if you learn the whole family together, they all make sense. So if we have 1, 2, 3, all these kind of downward blocks, 4 together, they all kind of make sense. They all work the same way. So they become easier and easier and easier to learn. But if you have one on its own in isolation, it's not great. So now I want to do a bit of kicking. So we're going to be going from the wall. We're going to be doing 5 Dolio Taggies. We're going to be doing 5 to the wall and 5 going forwards. If you can't fit 5 forwards, do 2 or 3, whatever you can fit. But we're pushing off the wall fast with those ones. So the idea is very simple. I start here. I have my knee back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we're looking for. That quick, aggressive push. I want you to do 5 sets of 5. Okay? I'm sorry, 5 sets. So 5 kicks, 5 hops, 5 times, and then the other leg for 5. Go! Let's get started on that. We'll get the legs into some shape for some of our kicking. Let's see. This is about.
Yeah, good Sam. That's the job.
Okay, let's get a few on.
Good salt, yeah. Yeah, nice, mate. After that, and just don't let the other hand pull you the wrong direction. So try and keep the other hand a bit more in the front. Don't let it come the way.
After the last few sessions. Go on. That's it, Tarnish. And the body position is staying consistent, that's it. And we just want to keep it working there. Those little pushes off the standing leg. The smaller the hops, the better. For now. That's it, Jess. Yeah, because they're fast. That's what we need. We want those fast hops. Always imagine you have the usual opponent. And of course, yeah, that nice feeling when the last one lands there. Okay, so 5 times again. Yop, 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 goro. Okay, so 3 yops. And for the 2 yops in the goro, don't extend those yops. Okay, give it pump, pump, pump. Okay, we want to make sure that we're getting there quickly. So our 3 yops. And up we go. Let's give it a go, folks. 5 times each leg, 3 and hop, hop, kick. Okay. Good, Ed. Go on. Up you get, Ed, and there you go. So that's the strength. Flexibility is there. Now we've got to carry it with strength. Hammer those first couple. That was probably loud.
You're looking at the kick. When you're kicking and then you're looking off into space somewhere else. Make sure you're seeing the kick. So get 2 eyes on the foot as it gets to the finish. There you go.
Good effort on those side kicks, Etna.
Even as you hop. There, better.
Now, Etna, don't try and finish the side kicks when you're hopping. Just bump, bump, wiggle fast. Oh, I hate saying that out loud. Okay, I think rather than saying it out loud, I want a demo. Okay, so the goal is when you're doing those hopping side kicks, it's not to go 1, 2, and then the kick. We want to be pulling back before we finish the kick to get us into the next one. And that's all I mean. So send it most of the way out, pull it back, most of the way out, pull it back to get you across the floor fast. Okay. Good. We have the freezing. I presume it's me. That's the way the internet has been the last while. We just assume it's my fault if someone freezes. Okay, now, this time we're going for Nerio, okay, 3 times from here. So you start at the wall and we have 1, 2, 3. And from there our job is to go hop, hop, bump, and up. Now it can be hacks or it can be actually Nerio, but the idea should be that as you get forward, it's kind of the hacks that we're finishing with. So the leg is up, and we bump, 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 up and through. So, at the wall, 3 angled Nerio, so like up, across, 3 times, hop, hop, kick. Let's go. This one 5 times again. And then hop, hop. That's not bad, Etna. Well done.
It's all good, man.
Yes. And we got to figure out how to make that hip work, because if we have the range and we can go this way, well then let's make sure we use it, okay? Get that reach. Good. Up, up, and yes. And you always want to imagine you're coming over this shoulder onto the face, pulling through. Onto the face, pulling through. Oh, it's all. Okay. Okay, so I want to go and for the rest of the session focus on a little bit of movement towards sparring and a few linking shots based off of our movement. So the very first bit that we're going to do, we're going to start, for example, I have my left leg in front, but that's not the important part. I'm going to start with the pull back and away this way and my right leg in front. Pull back and away and I get in with my left leg in front. So you want you to imagine that your opponent here is throwing perhaps side kick, and what you're doing is you're just encouraging it out of the way with the hand, and you're changing the angle to come back in from this side, out of the way with the hand, and I'm changing the angle to come back away in on this side. I want big movements, okay? So, in other words, as you're sparring here, we're here, boom, and a big quarter circle or, quadrant, and we move that. So I just want you to get going. I'll let you know when to stop. Let's go. Go, 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 and away we go. So we're again in this distance, full turn, and we're going here. We can be testing, and here. Covering with that front hand, and give yourself a little bit of movement. Here. Pull, here. Make sure you're making lots of space to get the kick out of the way. Keep it going. Visualize that opponent. So we're here. Yeah, I have to get that out of the way. I have to get that leg out of the way so that I can come back in. Let's go, another 3. Okay. Okay, so same movement. And as we get to here, all I want is that we're going to be using this right leg, so the opposite leg that you started with in front. We're coming in with that as an attack. So we're making our distance, and as we get to here, we're coming in with that leg. So, slow once again. 1, 1, 2. Slow once again. 1, 1, 2. We're just using that angle to give us the space. So I'm facing Bob here. Angle, boom, boom. And I'm using that to let me pick up my leg. Work around that kicking leg and go in your own time. Let's go. So, we're here. You're getting around that kicking leg, and you're the one first in with the leg. So ideally, before they can settle and come to face you again. Let's see. Cool. Boom. And this way. That's the idea. Okay, and relax. So this time, I want you to be thinking back, 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 hit. So we're pulling a person just back into our stance, and then we're going to meet them with the side kick. So the idea being that I won't be a hit and bob with this one, but I'm going back, 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 hit, and in I go. So I want to be pulling, 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 and then I'm going to stretch and make sure that my knee is tucked so that I meet it. So it's back, 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 here, boom. The knee has to tuck back enough that we hit. So I want you to keep the front hand guarding against their own hands. And from there we're moving back, 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 hit. And try lift and hit in one go. It will be a little difficult because your stance is long. So don't aim high. Just get to the hit, okay? In your own time, change legs whenever you need to. Back, 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 side kick, hit. Let's go. Give it a try. Good. Don't step in again. That's hard, I know. You don't need to go forward far. Back, 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 here. Boom. That's all we really need. So moving here. Back, 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 back. Boom. That's all. I don't want to have to move my back foot forwards again. Kind of why we're doing this one. Back, back, back. Hit. So I don't want to see back, back, back. Hit. Try to be back, back, back. And then pick up the front leg. Go on, let's have just another couple more. Yeah. Back, 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 hit. And again, changing the legs as needed. Okay. Cool. This time, we're going to use the pull of the front foot to let us land a turning kick. So the side kick is coming towards you. You're going to just use the pull of the front foot to let the side kick miss. Okay, we can have a little step at the back leg as well to change the distance if we need to. So if you watch my back leg, I'll show that. I can have a little step at the back leg just to open it up. So you're inviting the person's kick in. We're letting it in. Boom. and we're hitting with the turning kick, okay? So this has to be the longest one. So you do kind of have to stretch your hip. So you're pulling them in, you're pulling them in, you do need to flick the hip over to get that, okay? And that's going to be our start. I just want you to have a few seconds of that, and then we'll build in the hands. So let's go, okay? That opening out the body, one, boom, and then back in with the turning kick. Take your time with it. Little backward step, pulling, opening the hip, boom, and then turning kick from there. Always say for this one, if you want to see a few examples, you can download some of Mr. Williams matches. Back to find one in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It does happen a bit.
And in sparring, more than likely, you're going to have to move that back leg for this to work.
Yeah. Boom. If you hadn't seen it earlier, that's just that little bit of a movement. Pull the hip a bit further. So you kind of start your backward movement, but you keep it smaller than you'd usually have it. And you get the rest of it by pulling your body away before stretching back in. And it tends to have to be a long stretch. Okay. Now, one thing that does happen when you do this is you'll tend to land here like this, and they'll tend to land a little bit there. So there's a good chance that because you've hit them, your body opens out a bit and it brings in that back hand, and then we're going to pull to a new angle with the front hand. So we're moving back a little bit, we're hit 2, 3, and we move here. Okay? So the idea is that we want to change the angle on them just a little bit. We can use a little extra footwork with it if we like, but the step, hit, boom, change the angle here. More can follow, but that's what I want you to try, just to get a feel of it. So we have that step, boom, 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 and we're changing the angle on the second punch. Give it a try. Really helps if you can imagine the face here. Okay, so we can't do this without moving the feet. So the idea is that we've landed after the kick. I have my backhand here, and I just move my back foot a little bit as I go. Now there's nicer ways to do this as well. We can have it in step with it. But we have there 1, 2. We could be changing to here. That's all good. Okay, and pause. So, I want to use that front leg again, but this time, okay, we're going to take it from the back leg and make it our front leg. Okay, so in this case, what we're looking at is the side kick is going to be a little longer, or we move back and they have the opposite leg in front. So we have the option to make a small angle and throw the back leg. Okay, and this is one as well, if your partner is circling and you don't throw it very often, you can just throw the back leg in quickly and you can get a nice catch on it. So what I'm looking for is that we're going to go from here, we make a small angle, boom, and we're hitting with that dolio. And I want you to stay very tall, and when we hit, we're then going to bring the foot from there all the way back and into our back kick. So we're here, boom, all the way back, and there go the headphones. The headphones aren't obviously cut out for back kick. So let's give that a try, okay? Hopefully you got that. Mr. Williams can continue to chat if I'm gone quiet. So the dolio all the way back into the back kick. Let's go. That'll teach me to go out of the house without pizza. Although it's not working too bad as an improv. Thought they'd stay on. I had them squeezed. So make a small movement if you have to. Here, have a look here. So the idea is I can be testing to invite the side kick, but I want to make a small movement to give me some angle. Boom, here, boom, here, and then it all links up together. Let's just have another 5 or 6. Let's go, another 5 or 6. Linking these two, and I have one more for you. One, good. Not bad, Sam. Well done. And it's very hard when you don't get to hit something to have that pump. So what you got to do is let it out almost like a front kick and pump. Yeah, we're not going to turn the whole hip over. Okay? To quote Alan Troy, we're not turning the whole hip over. We're going to keep the hip fairly square so it's easier to get back here. My hip is only going to come and face the target. Boom! I turn my foot a little bit and then I'm here ready for my back. Alright. Okay, so I want you to, again, we're not going to make an angle for this one at all, okay? We're going to look at the short blitz, or the hopping blitz, okay? This is going to be the one that we usually do if you've just had the person land outside of range. So we're looking at, we're going to move back, boom, boom, which is going to bring us into that front leg turning kick. But again, we have to stay quite tall. Your partner hopefully will move back a little bit, but the idea will be that we're moving out of the way, boom, 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 and then we have this front leg turning kick. The leg comes all the way back once again, and from here, instead of doing the back kick, I want you to go to an aerial, okay? So we've had 1, back, 2, okay? And just play with it a little bit for a different combination. So we're coming from here, we have our movement back, 1, 2, 3, use this spring off the floor to launch you in again, okay? So we're looking at that back, 1, 2, 3, all the way back and through. And let the foot go across the target. It's easier on the hips. Okay, see how it goes. So this is going to be front leg comes all the way back, back leg comes all the way through. Yeah. And the advantage with this crescent kick or crescent style downward kick is you're getting tall. So your hips are getting higher. And hopefully your opponent is settling into swing punches because then their head's lower. It's like Bob here. I'm actually taller than Bob at the moment, but the second I'm in my sparring stance, we're about right. Okay? So when I go here, boom, I go to my full height, even onto my toes a little bit, and then I can easily hit over Bob's head if I need to. So, give it a try. Just another 4 or 5, and then I want to mix the last 2. Yeah. So think front leg all the way back, all the way forward. One moment. So for the next bit, we have to change. I want you to be able to mix between the two. So we're going to have that backward movement, skip blitz, front leg dolio, and the leg recovers. But in our head, we're waiting to see what kind of a reaction we got. So we had our movement, we are here, boom, and we want to see. Now, if none of that fazed them and they're still coming, well then okay, we get the back kick. But what you're going to feel is, when you land this, if you feel like, boom, they're already moving back, then we can pick up that downward kick. So that's what I want you to play between, is have the initial rhythm, here, and see what you feel, or alternatively mix it. So you have here, and pick the shots that work for you. So I want you to try and mix between the two. Stay balanced so that you can do both. Give it a try. Last techniques. Last couple of shots, folks. Give me 12 or 15 of these. straight into the flowers, Jess. Happy Mother's Day. Boom. Living in the past. They were so yesterday. Go on. That's it all. Yeah. And for some people, that technique, that combination will really work. So clarinet, this one's designed for you, buddy. So we have that angle, bum, bum, hip. Keep forgetting about my headphones. Used to the other ones by now. But you get the gist of it. It all fits nicely. It uses your good movement, your good understanding of distance. We connect the hands, nice low turning kick. Here I am, what's next? And the job is keep the momentum over your opponent. Make sure you're making a decision. Eknet, fancy. Outside to inside crescent kick into a back kick. Haven't done that before. So, it's the turning kick and then you pick the other two. So, we're landing, 1, 2, turning kick, and now I choose. Either I do the back kick or I go that way. Give me 4 more. Come on, 4 more, folks. Last 4. The clock has ticked down on us. Yes. Just wanted to flow a little bit and move, folks, just to not be tied to a particular stance and the rest of it. Just let it go a bit. Nice. Okay, and chill. So, folks, that will be us for today. Again, for anyone who has videos to submit to us, put them in through Google Classroom if you can. One of the things that has confused 1 or 2 people is that when you upload one video, if you try to upload another video to the same one, one can overwrite the other. We only need to see one video at a time. We'll give you feedback and then you can upload a new one anyway, so that's fine. But please, Google Classroom is so much easier for us than getting WhatsApp messages that then we have to share and link to it. So don't do that, technology, I'm sure of it. So folks, thanks a million. We will see you on Monday next, and unless I see you on Saturday, of course. So, Chariot, 7 gay, Kyungye, take 1. Good night, folks.
Take 1.
See you soon.